Cults. Let's talk about them and their effect on the media. When you hear the word cult, what are some things that come to mind? Leaders, brainwashing, drugs, separation? While all of these are fairly common in the ideas of cults, they are actually more specific than one might realize. Cults specifically are usually separate from society, meaning that they follow different rules than everyone else, whether people like it or not. Devoted to a charismatic leader, a person who's overly kind and understanding with someone struggling. It is a branch off of religion, or syncretism, which is combining a bunch of different parts of different religions to make a new religion. Also have an aspect of proselytizing, where they try and convince others to join, and it's also very hard to leave. Cults are usually very secretive. They don't want anyone to know what is going on inside, except people on the inside. Now that we have some basic specifics that declare if a group is a cult, we have to wonder who ends up converting to these cults. Cults usually aim for people who are claimed to be lost in life, whether it be a runaway, loner, drug addict, basically anyone who is alone and feels disconnected with people. With all this information, let's start with actual cults that inspired so many shows and movies in the 90s and 2000s. The first one we'll start with is Heaven's Gate.
We'll title this tape, Planet Earth About to be Recycled. Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us.
This cult was started by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles. Their beliefs were that an alien spacecraft was going to come and take them out of their bodily containers because they believed that a human body was actually only a container for their spiritual self. They believed that the spaceship was going to take them to the kingdom of heaven. The event they are most known for is the mass suicide in 1997, where he and 38 of his followers drank a mixture of phenobarbital and vodka to get rid of their bodies so the alien spaceship hiding behind Hale-Bopp's comet could come pick them up. This act, along with the event in Waco with the Branch Davidians cult, led the media to bring cults into their shows and movies. Cults got a lot of sympathy after the Waco siege because the FBI raided the Branch Davidians cult. So they were blamed when the fire started and all those people in the cult died. Many shows and movies like Boy Meets World, Law & Order, Profiler, The Matrix, The Simpsons, Touched by an Angel, Fight Club, Office Space, and more used these cults as inspiration for their shows, whether it's making a fake cult and picturing it as these toxic, brainwashing cults, or using cult themes of denying the government as basis for their movies. A good example of this is in the movie The Matrix, because the computers were like the government in the Waco siege, beating down the minority or the human population, giving sympathy for the minority, like the Waco siege gave sympathy to the cults. With Fight Club, they actually did make a group that ended up being very cult-like, having specific rules and trying to deny the government. Another big trend that was inspired by cults were the big corporate offices with the very specific and identical cubicles with the same kind of outfit because of the uniform. It's a representation of what the corporate offices did to brainwash their employees, similar to how cult leaders brainwashed their members. A good example of this is Office Space. And even in the end, you can see a reference to the Waco siege because of the fire that started in the building, and it looks very similar compared to the Waco siege. And you can still see in our shows today how cults from the 90s media inspired our ideas of cults through the media today.